Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Charandatamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayate Nashtaprayeshu Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhagavati Nishtaki. So, continuing with the discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, text number 39. Deva Uchuhu Namanta Deva Padarvindam Prapantapo Shamat Patram Yanmulaketa Yatyo Anjasoru Sansara Dukkham Bhairutchipanti. So, yesterday we saw how all the elements got manifested and the controlling deities were manifested. Now the controlling deities, they are praying to the Supreme Lord before starting their work. The demigods said, O Lord, your lotus feet are like an umbrella for the surrendered souls, protecting them from all the miseries of material existence. All the sages under that shelter throw off all material miseries. We therefore offer our respectful obeisances unto your lotus feet. So they are saying that your lotus feet are like umbrella for surrendered souls. Obviously, for the surrendered souls here, they take shelter of Maya anyway. And for the souls who are against you, your lotus feet are like crushing them. They're not like umbrella for them. And all the sages under that shelter, even the sages, the devotees who take shelter of the lotus feet, they can throw off all material miseries of not just themselves, of everybody else also. That's how powerful your lotus feet are. There are many sages and saints who engage in trying to conquer rebirth and all of the material miseries. But of all of them, those who take shelter under the lotus feet of the Lord can completely throw off all such miseries without difficulty. So there are three miseries are categorized in three categories: Adidevik, Adibhautik, Adhyatmik. So those who have taken shelter of the lotus feet, they completely throw off the material miseries. Others who are engaged in transcendental activities in different ways cannot do so. For them, it's very difficult. Means there are other sages or transcendentalists also, like karma yogis and jnana yogis or dhyana yogis, but those who have not taken shelter of your lotus feet, they cannot do so. They still have material miseries. If nothing else, especially their mind is always giving them trouble. They may artificially think of becoming liberated without accepting the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. But that's not possible. One is sure to fall again to material existence from such false liberation, even though one may have penances and austerities. That is the opinion of the demigods, who are not only well versed in Vedic knowledge, but also are seers of the past, present, and future. So even in the demigods, Devtas, they are saying this way, that those who have not taken shelter of your lotus feet, no matter what other process they follow, they cannot be successful. The opinions of the demigods are valuable because the demigods are authorized to hold positions in the affairs of universal management. They are appointed by the Lord as his confidential servants. So what to speak of people who just go to demigods for material benefits? Even demigods are saying, those who don't take shelter of your lotus feet, they cannot get out of this material existence. Forget about whether, even if they are Jnanis and yogis and karmis. But those who are karmkandis or lower than that, there's no other solution for them. I mean, there is no gati or destination for them. Text 14. धातर्यदस्मिन् भव ईश जीवा तापत्रेण आभिहत न शर्मा आत्मन लभन्ते भगवंस्तवाङ्घ्रे छायां सविद्यामत आश्रयेम. O Father, O Lord, O Personality of Godhead, the living entities in the material world can never have any happiness because they are overwhelmed by the three kinds of mysteries. Therefore, they take shelter of the shade of your lotus feet, which are full of knowledge, and we also thus take shelter of them. The way of devotion service is neither sentimental nor mundane. It is a path of reality by which a living entity can attain the transcendental happiness of being freed from the three kinds of material miseries arising from the body and mind, which is adhyatmic klesha, from other living entities, adhibhautik klesha, and from natural disturbances, adi, uh, adhidhavic klesha. Everyone who is conditioned by material existence, whether he be a man or beast or demigod or bird, must suffer from adhyatmic bodily or mental pains, adhibhautik pains, and adhidevic pains, those due to supernatural disturbances. His happiness is nothing but a hard struggle to get free from the miseries of conditional life. But there is only one way he can be rescued, and that is by accepting the shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of God. So there is only one way to get out of these miseries. Even, I mean, it is said, even while living in this material body, one has taken shelter. He is out of these miseries. The argument that unless one has proper knowledge, one cannot be freed from material miseries is undoubtedly true. But because the lotus feet of the Lord are full of transcendental knowledge, acceptance of his lotus feet completes that necessity. So that's why in the verse it is said, the lotus feet are full of knowledge. Savidyam. We already have discussed this point in the first canto. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayodita. Janyati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayata Hatakam. There is no want of knowledge in devotion service of Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead. He, the Lord, personally takes charge of dissipating the darkness of ignorance from the heart of a devotee. So this is what Krishna does. Those who take, he says in Bhagavad Gita also, Tesham satatyuktanam bhajtam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam. I give them the understanding by which they continue. Empiric philosophical speculation cannot give one relief from the threefold miseries of material existence. Simply to endeavor for knowledge without devoting oneself to the Lord is a waste of valuable time. So just knowledge will not help one get beyond these miseries. Only devotion service will do. So taking shelter of the lotus feet is what? Taking shelter of the devotion service of the Lord. Text 41. Marganti yatte mukh padma nida chanda suparna rishyo vivikte yasyaghamashod saridvaraya padam padam tirtha padah prapannaha. The lotus feet of the Lord are by themselves the shelter of all places of pilgrimage. The great, clear-minded sages, carried by the wings of the Vedas, always search after the nest of your lotus-like face. Some of them surrender to your lotus feet at every step by taking shelter of the best of rivers, the Ganges, which can deliver one from all sinful reactions. See, very beautiful, very poetic words this is. The lotus feet of the Lord are by themselves a shelter of all places of pilgrimage. The great clear-minded sages, carried by the wings of the Vedas, always search after the nest of your lotus-like face. Some of them surrender to your lotus feet at every step by taking shelter of the best of rivers, the Ganges, which can deliver one from all sinful reaction. The Paramhansas are compared to royal swans who make their nests of the petals of the lotus flower. The Lord's transcendental body parts are always compared to the lotus flower because in the material world, the lotus flower is the last word in beauty. The most beautiful thing in the world is the Vedas. In the world is the Vedas or Bhagavad Gita because therein knowledge is imparted by the personality of Godhead Himself. The Paramhansa makes his nest in the lotus-like face of the Lord and always seeks shelter at his lotus feet, which are reached by the wings of the Vedic wisdom. So all the Vedas, if one even studies the Vedas, the knowledge, with the previous verse Prabhupada is talking about, the knowledge. The knowledge of Vedas means what? To take shelter of Krishna. The ultimate of knowledge is that. If one does not take shelter of Krishna, take shelter of lotus feet of Krishna, then his studies of Vedas is useless. It hasn't taken effect. So the Vedas all direct towards the Paramhansas. Paramhansa means devotees, definitely. But even if somebody is a yogi, ultimately he has to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. That's the supreme destination. All Vedic knowledge is meant for understanding the Supreme Lord, as stated by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita. Vedasya sarvarahame vedya. Intelligent persons who are like swans take shelter of the Lord by all means and do not hover on the mental plane by fruitlessly speculating on different philosophies. So the intelligent persons who study Vedas, actually they fly on the wings of the Vedas or sit on the swan like Vedas and take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. Or here it also says, take shelter of the, they make the nest on the petals of the lotus flower or the face of the Lord, or the lotus like face of the Lord. Means they always, by studying the Vedas, means one can always look at the lotus face of the Lord. Not by studying the Vedas, one should come to this conclusion that there is no Lord, there is no form of the Lord, there is no face of the Lord. And the Lord is so kind that He has spread the river Ganges throughout the universe, so that by taking bath in that holy river, everyone can get release from the reactions of the sins which occur at every step. There are many rivers in the world which are able to evoke one's sense of God consciousness simply by one's bathing in them. And the river Ganges is chief amongst them. In India, there are 5 sacred rivers, but the Ganges is the most sacred. The river Ganges and Bhagavad Gita are chief sources of transcendental happiness for mankind. And intelligent persons can take shelter of them to go back home, back to Godhead. Even Shiva Shankaracharya recommends that a little knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and the drinking of little quantity of Ganges water can save one from the punishment of Yamaraj. That's how powerful Ganges water is and Bhagavad Gita is. Little knowledge means punishment of Yamaraj will not go to hell, but we'll keep on taking birth again and again if we don't develop the devotion service, if we don't develop love for Krishna. But Ganges, here Prabhupada wrote that by taking bath in Ganges, one can get released from the reactions of sins, which occur at every step. So even after taking bath in Ganges, one can still start committing sins. As soon as they get out of the water of Ganges, they start committing sins. So they again become sinful. So they again have to take shelter of Ganges. Again have to go and take bath in Ganges. So yes, Mother Ganges can release us from all sinful reactions. She has that power. Why she has that power? Because when Vaman Dev, he was extending his lotus foot to cover the whole universe, his toe, big toe, it went through, or it cracked. It put a crack in the shell covering of the universe. So few drops of the causal ocean, Karan Sagar, it fell through that crack. And first it washed the lotus feet of the Lord, and then it came down to heavenly planets. And Maharaj Bhagirath went, and he brought the Ganges down to earth. And then from earth she goes down to Patal. Because she has washed the lotus feet of the Lord, she has that kind of power to wash away all the sinful reactions of all the living entities since time immemorial. And I recently I saw a video that in Allahabad or Prayagraj, there is a flood right now. It's a flood-like situation. The place where Kumbh Mela happens, where there's a Sangam, it's all flooded. Means the Ganges must be, and Yamuna also must be overflowing right now. So it's overflow of mercy of Ganges and Yamuna. We should take shelter of. And so much of mercy flowing right now. But that's not enough. It can only remove the reactions of our sins. It doesn't remove the inclination to commit sin. That's the problem. So yes, taking bath in Yamuna can, because Yamuna ji gives bhakti. Ganges removes the sinful reaction, but Yamuna ji can give bhakti. In fact, Ganges in Kali Yuga, towards the beginning of Kali Yuga, she went to the Lord, personified Ganges, and she said, "Oh Lord, you're leaving me here in Kali Yuga. So many so many sinful people are going to take bath in me, and they're going to leave their sins in my waters. How will I get purified?" The Lord very smilingly said, "Yes, you're right, but in Kali Yuga, so many Vaishnavas will also come and take bath in you, and they will remove you. They'll purify you of all those sinful sins that other people have left in your water." So Yamuna ji also went to the Lord. Of course, Ganga and Yamuna, they are transcendental and they're eternal. But Yamuna ji also went, "Oh, why? How come Ganges got all the mercy?" That happened in Dwapara Yuga. So Lord said, "Well, Ganges got all the mercy, but in this day at this time, I will play in your water along with Radharani and Gopis and the Gopsakhas. So you will be 1,000 times more powerful." So Ganges can remove the reaction, but Yamuna ji can give bhakti. But in Kali Yuga, then Ganges was also kind of feeling low. She went to the Lord. Then the Lord says, "Okay, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I'll come and play in your waters. And then you'll also be glorified." But Mahaprabhu played in Ganges water in Navadvip, near Mayapur. So that is after Yamuna mixes with Ganges at Prayagraj, at Sangam. So after Yamuna ji mixes with Ganges, then Mahaprabhu played in that water. Of course, Ganges is always very pure, but it is said that Mahaprabhu played in the Yamuna side of the Ganges. So the water is still together, But when you go to Mayapur, you can see there are two rivers are meeting, Jalangi and one more. I'm forgetting the name. And you can see the difference in colors again, the color of the water. So Ganges water is little muddy in color, yeah, like little yellowish, and Yamuna water is little dark in color. But again, both are transcendental. Both are very, very, very merciful. So this is what people, those who don't read scripture, those who don't have faith in scriptures, they always make fun of. Oh, just by taking bath in river, you can get freed from the sinful reactions. But they're not just rivers; they're mothers, and and the water is transcendental, and it's mentioned in scriptures. We can read here in the scripture in Srimad Bhagavatam. It's mentioned. What to speak of other scriptures? So it's not just stories, made up stories. They're facts. In fact, Ganges water is so pure and so powerful. Even British understood the power of Ganges water because they would travel by sea from from Britain to India, and whatever water they were carrying, it would go bad after a while because there's no fresh supply of water in the ship. So they had to stop at different places and get the water supply. But when they would carry Ganges water, it would remain fresh throughout the journey. Even till today, you can get Ganges water, keep it in a bottle in your house for years and years and years. Nothing happens. It remains fresh. You can keep any other water; it will go stale after a while. That's the power of Ganges. So it's very powerful, very purifying water. It just when first of all, when one goes and takes bath in Ganges water, first of all, one has to have faith, proper faith. And then after taking bath, one should not commit sin ever again. And then his sins will be wiped out. No doubt about it. But that faith is not there, and the inclination of committing sin doesn't go away. That inclination of sin, committing sin, goes away by taking part in the Ganges of the instructions of bona fide spiritual master or of sages, or taking shelter of the instruction of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Once somebody does that, then even his inclination goes away that I'm not gonna commit any sin. And in fact, any action that is not related to service of Krishna is sin to begin with. Even if we don't talk about breaking the law or going against the injunctions of the scriptures. So even that inclination of doing anything against or doing anything not related to service of the Lord, that inclination also goes away. That is the power of the words of this of a bona fide spiritual master. Look at how Srila Prabhupada, he just changed the hearts of people, even in sitting in America or other parts of the world. They had never gone to Ganges to take bath in Ganges. All they got, all they heard is the words of Srila Prabhupada. All they did was service of Srila Prabhupada. All they did was following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. And they got completely purified. Not just purified, they they themselves got the power to change the hearts of other people. In fact, in 1977, there was Kumbh Mela at Prayagraj, and Prabhupada was there with his disciples, and the ISKCON had a big pandal. And because Prabhupada used to live in Allahabad before, Prabhupada came to West. He had his pharmacy over there, Prayag Pharmacy. It's still there. So from that time, he knew of somebody, and that person came to see Prabhupada. So Prabhupada met him, and this person, he took out from his plate, from his bag, he took out a plate, and he took out a lota, and he put some water in that lota. And he asked Prabhupada to extend his lotus feet on the plate. And Prabhupada was watching all this, and he started bathing, did the foot bathing of Prabhupada. He bathed the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada was smiling, and Prabhupada said, I don't know if Prabhupada said or Prabhupada disciple, they were there. They said, what are you doing? And that person said that I know Swamiji is not going to go and take bath in Sangam. And it is a fact. Prabhupada didn't go to take bath in Sangam. Prabhupada was sitting in the pandal, and he was translating Bhagavatam, writing his purports, and instructing his disciples, guiding them. Loknath Maharaj was leading the yatra to the ghat, and they were taking bath. Prabhupada never went to take bath. So this person, he said, I know Swamiji will not go and take bath in Ganges. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this water and throw it in Sangam. And then Sangam will have the power to purify the conditioned souls. And Prabhupada was sitting there and laughing and nodding. He was admitting, yes, this is right. That is Srila Prabhupada. We don't really actually know who Prabhupada is. But not an ordinary person, that's for sure. So somehow by mercy of Prabhupada, by mercy of Krishna, we get to read these purports. Means we are taking shelter of the instructions of Prabhupada, of the Vani of Prabhupada. So this is even more powerful than just going and taking bath in Ganges. I'm not saying one should not take bath in Ganges. One should whenever one gets a chance. But one should every day take bath in this Ganges of nectar that is coming from Prabhupada's mouth. Because Prabhupada spoke these purports, and his disciples, they typed it. So it all emanated from the lotus lips of Prabhupada. So we should take shelter of these instructions every single day. Just read it. I know we didn't understand all this Mahatattva and lots of technical terms before, but that's okay. Just read it with faith. Read it. And now it's all wonderful stories we can read now. So that's good. So anyway, we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, through this class, you have actually made a very big statement on rivers, how exploited it is today. I mean, in Delhi, Yamuna ji will see it. And I think with this class, the lesson comes out that we should take care of it. I mean, all of us, right? That's a misfortune for us that we are not doing it, all of us. But, if you see in Delhi, how contaminated it is, the Yamuna River today. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Nobody is taking any effort to refine it or to make some changes into it. It just people are using it, throwing all the garbage in it, and I don't know how many drainages are there inside it. So I think this is an alarming situation. We should reverse now.
Yeah, it's sorry state actually. Well, Modi government did do something for Ganges, and I hope they do for Yamuna also very soon. It's very, very important. I mean, not just Yamuna and Ganges, Kaveri, Godavari, Narmada, Sindhu, so many transcendental rivers are there in India. And this is one of the things I was speaking with somebody. In America, when we go and when you see the rivers, They're wonderful, beautiful, full of water, clean water. Of course, they are not that transcendental rivers as we find in scriptures in India are, but how wonderfully they have kept the rivers clean, full of water. It's not like running out of water or drains are being discharged there. But in India, it's a sorry state. Our scriptures say rivers are so transcendental, so pure, and we take bath in those rivers, but we don't take care of them. This is sorry. Actually, it's very pathetic state. We don't have faith. Actually, we are misusing our mothers, mother cow, rivers, mother nature. We're just exploiting that. That's all we are doing. And look how in America they're taking care of rivers. How in Europe they take care of rivers. It's amazing, but not in India.
Prabhuji, a small story, I'll just share it here. I was visiting in Ayodhya, and I was in that taking a boat ride in the Saryu River with my family, and I saw a sadhu's dead body floating in the river, and I was amazed. I was shocked in it. I mean, I asked my dad that why is it they are floating in the water, and he said like it's in the shas that all the saints should be either floated or buried, uh, under the soil. So, but this was I didn't like because it's actually contaminate the water, and even though I don't know where it is written, but it's a fact that if it's floated and after 10 days or 15 days or 20 days the body was rotten, and then what will happen? It's actually contaminate the water itself, but still people are doing it. And
Actually, no water of river Saryu or Ganges doesn't get contaminated by that. But 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 it's a job of the government or the people in general to take care of the rivers. E- No doubt, water doesn't get but if so many dead bodies will be there, then uh, there'll be different birds coming in and trying to eat and animals. So at least the arrangement should be made that there should be free cremation for these sadhus or for people who cannot afford. Then you can throw the ashes in Ganges, no problem.
absolutely.
Well, they should be free. At least that much arrangement can be made. But no, nobody wants to do that.
This is what we say, right? That we are ready. We are passing all the slogans, making Ram Mandir temple and all in 6 months of time, 12 months of time. So ages it's coming, but we are not cleaning the surroundings itself.
Yeah,
And this is very annoying.
yeah. And now that Sadhguru Vasudev, Jaggi Vasudev, at least he has started this movement of Kaveri calling. And what they are doing is planting trees along the banks of Kaveri. Because if the trees are not there, that's why the banks get eroded, and then there's so much of flooding everywhere. So we should
242 crores, I think.
yeah, something like that, and only for 42 rupees per tree
Yeah, per sapling. Yeah.
per sapling. So we should do that for Ganga and Yamuna also. Why not? Because that is a lifeline of India actually. These are the very important to take care of them, but at the same time not to exploit them also. It's not happening. Anyway, I hope we can take care of mothers. Any other
Yes, ma'am.
question or comment? So I guess we can stop here. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shila Prabhupada.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.